Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Yamato. And boy do I have a juicy one for you guys. Tonight has not gone the best. I say tonight, this morning. For those of you who are, not working third shift and just getting home and trying to go to bed. This morning has not gone that well. I've had some great games tonight, but I've also absolutely had a struggle fest in terms of just winning games. Now, we've had some raffle stomp wins where I get like 90k and the game's over because we just completely dominate the enemy team. But we've also had some games where like one game in the Jean Bart, 150,000 damage, and I'm literally fighting everybody by myself. My team somehow manages to lose. Like, no idea how that happened. Another Jean Bart game I was going to use if this game didn't turn out very good. Because this was the last one. I was like, alright, this is it. This is the last game I'm playing. And then I got to jump off. And yeah, turns out it was a good choice to play one more. Because it doesn't get much juicier than this, folks. I'm telling you. It's going to be an absolute slobber knocker. You're welcome, JR. Anyway. So, first things first, we got a GK spotted right at the edge of my range. Now, this is something that needs to be fixed in the near future. Like, we need to be able to spot, like, people who are spotted before they get into your range. Like, I know that there's, like, a limit, but on these larger maps like this, like, even my range, like, he was in my range. I could have potentially shot him, but the game is just like, nope, you can't see him yet. So, that's something they need to address. But, first shot out. 14,000 damage, not too shabby, so you always love to see that. But anyway, we're going to move over to the right side here and go around the back side of A. Now you might notice there's a lot of firepower over here. We got the Worcester, we got the Gross Kerfers, we got 3 Yamatos, and yeah, there's a lot of guns looking at us. And I don't think he actually saw this. Wait for it. What happened to the Worcester? Like, the Worcester used to be, like, guaranteed citadels. Kind of like Mino level of guaranteed citadels. But here lately, man, I cannot citadel a frickin' Worcester for nothing. At least not with a battleship, anyway. But, anyway, there's a lot of firepower over here. It's pretty concentrated, so we don't want to go putting ourselves in harm's way, right? We want to wait for the enemy to make the mistakes. And this is something that a lot of people just don't do very well. And I'm one of them. I like to rush. I like to push. But you gotta know when there is absolutely no chance to push. And that is what we are about to experience right here. That is a lot of hatred waiting for you to come around this corner. So you can see I've already got it in stop. I'm probably going to switch it into reverse pretty soon. I don't want to start reversing just due to the fact that I do want to drift forward a little bit. See if I maybe catch some of these guys. If I can shoot over the island here in a moment. So that's why I don't go straight into full. But once I do go into full, it slows us down relatively quickly. We're going to come to a stop, keep us from being spotted, but then we don't have any spotting, unfortunately, so no way to actually look at anything. But anyway, we are just waiting for the enemy to make mistakes, okay? When you have this many people just waiting for you to die, like, you have to wait. You cannot just rush out into it, because you're just going to die. You're literally just going to throw all your hit points away, and you die. That's all there is to it. But either way, we're going to wait for the enemy to make a mistake. Now, obviously, the number one mistake that people make over here is that they overextend past that island. Now, you can see GK gets spotted. I'm spotted by a plane, just temporarily. GK's in the middle of a turn. We're going to wait for him to turn a little bit more. And as soon as he gets the chance to overturn, we're going to take that shot, see if we can't smack him right before he goes behind the island. And we do. We get one full penetration. Even though it looked like we hit him with more than that. But, you know, what do I know? Now, Worcester comes out, and this is something, again, like, if cruisers were allowed to actually be punished the way that they're supposed to be punished more often than not, you wouldn't get this stuff. This Worcester would never pull out in front of 2 Yamatos, another battleship, and a Mino to shoot a couple of HE shells. That just would not happen. But they get away with it, just like that. The shells go everywhere they have to, and only one shell manages to touch the ship. And you can see I'm waiting for my opportunities. 10 seconds, we're going to get another shot here. And I think it's about at this point where, as I get ready to shoot, the enemy Yamato gets spotted. And I'm like, oh my god, he's broadside on in front of me. See the nose of his ship at the bottom of the screen? Hello, sunshine. How you doing? Wait for it. Pow! Dropping the bomb on that man. What was he thinking? Like, you can't pull out broadside in front of a Yamato in a Yamato? What are you thinking? Especially at these ranges. But as you can see, we've already used our damage comm. We're trying to reverse away from this guy, and of course he gets a fire. Of course he gets a fire, right? And is he going to get a double? Not quite. And we are disengaged from him. But then the GK comes out and he says, anything a Yami can do, I can do better. And for half as cheap. So he comes out broadside. We smack him too. And look at our, we're already at 94,000 damage because that 56,000 damage shot on the Yami. And this guy is just going to get farmed. He is broadside on to the Mino who's next to me. And this Mino is, again, not the brightest guy in the world. Okay, you do not want to put yourself in position to get blapped. Now, our Yami manages to punch that GK. I reach out and touch that GK, and we take everything he's got, but leave him alive. He manages to kill the he manages to kill the Mino, but the Mino still had shells in the air, manages to finish him back off. So down goes the GK. Now we have this Yami here, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty excited about this next shot. I'm like, okay, if we can stay undetected, because the Worcester backed off. If we can stay undetected, I could come out here and potentially get this guy. Now, the Yami knows I'm coming, right? This Yami is at least aware enough to know that I'm coming. And I was waiting for him to take the shot. You can see he takes the shot with his front guns, and that gives us just open season on this beautiful shot. Now, the shot I'm looking for is just ahead of the turrets into the cheek, and I don't quite lead him correctly. However, 6 penetrations, 5 full penetrations, and 1 overpin. Not too shabby of a result, and we're up to 133,000 damage. And that's when I see the Kleber. And of course, I'm getting ready to fire at the Kleber here. I'm like, okay, I should get my guns loaded. Are we going to get the shot off? Not really, so I hold the shot. I'm like, okay, I can't really get the shot that I want. Friesling gets spotted at like 20 kilometers. Like, hitting that shot's unlikely. So we're just going to try to push through the cap, get this cap switched, because right now the enemy's winning on points, so we need to deny them their points and also take this cap, if we can. Now look at my 2 battleships behind me. They're not really doing anything. They need to get it moving. They're settling. This is one of those points where, like, I'm trying to get my teammates to move forward. And one of them, to his credit, does. It is the enemy, or it is the friendly Yami back there in the back. He does eventually start coming forward. But you can see Kleber's going to do the smart thing and actually reset me here, which is really frustrating. That takes away my my solo freaking cap. But we've got a Bismarck out here, maximum range. We're going to go ahead and take that shot all day, every day. This has potential for citadels because, as you guys know, that turtleback armor becomes a liability out past 16 kilometers. But fortunately for him, I don't get a very good salvo. I didn't quite lead him enough, and we get 3 overpins and 2 full pins. But that's when I see that this enemy Mino is pushing forward, and we just got blapped right through the bow because of that Yami that we were getting ready to come around the corner on. Yeah, this guy, he remembers us. But he just smashed us for like 20k right through the bow. We Citadel and get our High Cal and Confederate off of the enemy Mino. And then I've got to try to beach here because I don't want to push out in front of 3 battleships and a Worcester. You know what I'm saying? That just seems like a bad play. And of course, right as we're about to hit this man, this is like guaranteed kill shot right here. This is easy mode. We get 1 Citadel, but he knocked out one of our guns, and that kept us from being able to kill him. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, because he had the Worcester there helping him. I think the Worcester's dead now, but he had the Worcester there initially, and that Worcester was actually keeping him alive and allowed him to survive that, and then he gets more shots off. Watch this next shot. Tell me how this happens, Wargaming. Ooh, it's just your bad aim, Spartan. You weren't aiming halfway up the freaking side of the ship. No, those shells all fall short. Why? Why does that happen? Please explain it to me, Wargaming. You guys seem to like the idea that, you know, some things just happen. It's just RNG, right? But come on, man. You're literally 5 kilometers away, or whatever we are, maybe 8 kilometers away, at a broadside battleship. I aim halfway up his ship, and every one of the shells falls short. Explain to me why that's a thing. And then tell me you're never going to fix it. Because we know you're not. But that is one of the most frustrating things that can happen to you, and it happens way too often in all ships. It's not just battleships, it's not just cruisers, they all do it. It's an issue. It's been an issue for months, and nobody does anything about it. But, I mean, they finally moved the Weimar, right? So there's that. But you can see here, I've requested help. The Yami, to his credit, is coming to help us. We are waiting for will to rebuild. I don't want to go out here and challenge a Bismarck and a Yami with no will to rebuild, because they'll just kill me. So we got to wait for this guy to catch up. You can see I'm like looking behind him. I'm like, dude, why are you taking the scenic route? Let's go. Get your booty in gear, buddy. Now, I've got like a maxed out commander. So I'm like, just get close, and I will have will to rebuild going. And I don't need will to rebuild forever. I just need it to get me some health so that I can survive at least one good salvo from the Yami. Bismarck doesn't even scare me at this range. As we get a good shot out against him, and we, of course, leave him alive, because that's the only thing that we can do. We always have to leave people alive. That's another thing. But I didn't even notice at this point. I got 197,000 damage. And there's still plenty of damage to be had out there. Now, the Yami behind me manages to kill the Bismarck, and that's when we come around the corner. We're undetected because 13.8 kilometer concealment, and we have a decent look, not a great look at this Yami. He's angled away from us, so we're not likely to citadel him, so we aim a little bit high, want those shells to hit the deck and into that superstructure and maybe get some good penetrations, and we actually get a solid hit out of it, 3 full penetrations. And then I look over at the Mino, thinking, okay, he's healing, I might get a chance to shoot him. Nope, he's done. That Yami on the other side manages to punch him right in the mouth and take him out. But then this guy decides he wants to go full broadside to me, and I hate to tell you this, buddy. Even at 17 kilometers, going broadside to a Yami and a Yami is a very bad idea. As we reach out and we touch that man. 3 full pins, 1 overpin. He reaches out and does literally nothing to us. And we manage to citadel him and take most of the health that he had. And then he's like, okay, I'm almost behind a rock. I'll be fine. Nope, you're still broadside, sir. And I still have a pretty good reload. Wait for it. And pop. Down he goes. Another 20,000 damage to add to our total. But then the Friesling comes out. He's shooting at our battleship, who was shooting HE. And yeah, that's not going to end well for him either. But a really nasty game in the Yami. Felt good. I'm not going to lie. After the games that we were having, this one felt real good. 255,000 damage, Confederate high cal with a dev strike. 3,169 base XP. Not bad at all. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.